at the beginning of chapter 5 for our final review. You guys are going to do this one on a piece of paper. So this is the unit on, or the chapter on rates. And you're going to be on just that first page for the chapter. The big idea is you can use a rate to compare one quantity to another quantity and use rates to solve problems. Okay, so if you turn to page 159, that's the lesson 5.1 that will start. So you need to know the meaning of rates. That's your vocabulary. So make sure you review the vocabulary for the final of rate, speed, and unit rate. So if you look at the guided practice on page 160, you just need to answer on whether or not each statement can be expressed as a unit rate. And remember, a unit rate is per one of whatever the unit is. So like number 1, a monkey plucked 4 coconuts per minute. And because it says per minute, the answer is yes, we can write it as a unit rate. It would be 4 coconuts per minute. Okay. Whereas if you look at number 3, it says a basketball team scored 294 points in 6 games. Okay, so I have 294 per 6 games, but I don't know. I know I could average this and find out how much they scored in one game, but right now I don't know what the unit rate is of how much they scored per game without averaging, and they don't want an average, so I'm going to say no. Okay. So that's the first learn section. The second learn section is to find a unit rate. So this is on page 161. Okay. So if we look at number 7 for the guided practice, it says the fuel tank in Sally's car was completely empty. She paid $63 to fill the tank with 22.5 gallons of gas. What was the cost per gallon? Okay, so to find the cost per gallon, right here, it tells you what to do. You're going to do the money divided by the gallons. So you need to do 63 divided by the 22.5 gallons, and that will get you the price per gallon. So if you don't have a calculator, you can do that with long division. If you already have your calculator, you may use it, but you may not get up to get a calculator at this point because you should have been ready for math with that. Okay. Now, we don't write money like this, so 2.8, I would need to add a 0 to have it in the proper format for money. So it would be $2.80 per gallon is how I would properly write that. Okay, and then finding and comparing unit rates is the same exact thing. So you're going to find the unit rate that they give you. So if you look at page 162 and 163, you're just going to use the chart to find each of the unit rates and then see either which one costs the most per pound or the least per pound or whatever they're asking you in the question. So same exact concept as finding the unit rates. Okay, so moving forward then to page 164, you're going to find the speed, okay, of something. And we talked about finding the distance, speed, or time. So we're going to combine this with speed, distance, or time and just do a quick review. So you guys know we have our triangle that you need to know, and we have distance on the top, speed, and time. So if you were looking for speed, you'd cover up the speed, and your formula would be distance divided by time. If you were looking for distance, you'd cover up the distance, and your formula would be speed times time. If you were looking for time, you cover up the time and your formula would be distance divided by speed. Okay? So depending on what the problem asks you on those, that is just a basic review of your formula. Okay, moving forward to the real world problems, lesson 5.2. This is just more work and more problems on using rates and unit rates to solve word problems. So you can look through those. Again, with the word problems, if it seems difficult, those are the problems you need to work on. Okay, this is a lot on using the distance, speed, and time formula in the triangle to solve the problems. So if you had difficulty with this during the chapter, maybe you want to review some of these problems in lesson 5.2. Okay, and then you hit the chapter review. This was a short lesson chapter. And just like before, if you put a check out by the side of which one of these, or an S or an E, find those different ones. There's only 2 problems specifically over the concepts and skills, which would be over the unit rate section, this one. So you would do number 1 and 2 if you needed help on this unit rate or needed more practice. Other than that, you're going into the word problems. I would suggest at least doing several of the odd numbered problems and then checking them in the back of the book. If you miss them, for sure correct them, and then possibly find some even numbered problems that are similar to do those as well. And then if you have questions, make sure you're asking for help. But since this is final review, I would definitely try to solve it on your own first, checking the answer in the back for those odd numbered problems, and then seek out help if you need it.